Listen, I grew up in 5 states, 2 countries, 14 different homes, 8 fathers, 3 care homes, 2 correctional facilities, 1 beautiful, damaged flower of a mother.
Trevor's story begins in the frozen borderlands of Canada. From the very start, his life was a chaos, a cycle of abuse, instability, and violence that shaped him into one of the most unpredictable men in San Andreas.
Fuck! I had a difficult childhood.
As he put it, he grew up bouncing between 5 states and 2 countries, living in 14 homes, 3 care centers, and 2 correctional facilities. Not only that, he claimed to have had 8 different fathers and 1 beautiful damaged flower of a mother. Though much of Trevor's past is pieced together through his own erratic memories, so it might not have happened the same way he described it, there might be some exaggerations or some bad judgments, just like how he talks good about his mother even though she is an abuser. But the truth is clear, his childhood was a nightmare. His father was a cruel man who treated him badly.
I had a tough upbringing. My daddy was not nice to me. My father, my actual father, the one I think was my father, he was not a nice man.
One of Trevor's earliest and deepest scars came the day his father abandoned him in a shopping mall. Years later, that betrayal burned in his mind until he returned and burned the mall down himself.
Did Daddy not love you?
No. Daddy left me at a shopping mall and never came back, so I burnt it to the ground!
His mother, Mrs. Philips, worked as a prostitute and struggled with drug addiction.
Is that what you think I am? A prostitute? Still?
She rarely paid him any attention except to humiliate him, criticize him, or even physically abuse him.
Now look at you. You always were. An ungrateful, wretched, sniveling sack of shit of a boy. You know it, and I know it. There was always something wrong with you. Oh, that's it now!
My mother was very complicated. It's very complicated. I had a very complicated upbringing. Extremely complicated. In many ways, I was deprived of some pretty basic things, but I don't complain.
Emotionally manipulative and cold, she treated Trevor like a worthless failure, controlling him through guilt, shame, and brief flashes of affection. And it is implied that she sexually assaulted him, as the mere insult of being called a motherfucker could make him defensive and send him into a blind rage.
Motherfucker! No! It's a big fucking deal! Huh?
Whoa. And before you fucking ask!
Chill, Holmes, chill.
No, I'm not a motherfucker!
Yeah, you mother... You.
I'm getting bored of this.
What?
It's not legally if you do not penetrate.
Trevor! I'm talking to you, mother...
But to be fair, he doesn't always take the word seriously.
Good seeing you, man.
You too, Leroy.
Leroy. It's Lamar, mother.
Isn't that a girl's name? Sounds very feminine.
Anyway, despite all of it, Trevor never stopped trying to earn her approval, or even speak ill of her.
Nobody talks about my mother! One beautiful, damaged flower of a mother. I'm so sorry for everything.
Exactly. For everything.
In his mind, she was still a good woman, the only family he had left. His loyalty to her was twisted but unshakable. But the early abuse Trevor endured left him with abandonment issues and desperately craving love.
Now look, Deborah, I love you and I love you too, Floyd. Why can't we all just be together, huh?
I got a fucking family!
Yeah, well, I got nothing! No one gives a fuck about me!
For some reason, everyone I love abandons me.
Ah! Oh, I love you! Oh, let me take you away from all of this!
What up?
Do you love me as a friend?
I got love for all my homies, homie.
Do you love me more than Chop?
And that explains why he is deeply loyal to the people that he loves. And it is also implied that Trevor was sexually assaulted by a clown during his childhood, an event that left him traumatized for life and sparked his deep fear of clowns.
How many of you sex offenders are there? I'm not scared of you anymore! I'm a big boy now!
Clowns to the left,
More fucking clowns to the right. Remind me again why I agreed to roll with you two fools.
Clowns? Where's the fucking clown?
Trevor also had a brother Ryan, whom he never got along with. And Ryan died in what Trevor called an accident, implying that it might have had something to do with Trevor.
My brother! Hey!
Yep.
No.
I needed to go to the doctor too.
You remind me of my brother! Ryan! I mean, after he was dead.
Oh, sorry
about that. No, don't be sorry. I'm glad he was dead. It was an accident. Alright? That's all I have to say.
This foundation of pain bred a storm inside him. As a child, Trevor's rage would explode into disturbing acts.
When did you know what you wanted to do with your life?
Pretty young. Yeah, I was pulling the legs off a spider and I wanted more. I wanted to kill all the way up the food chain until I hit the top, the human being.
He once sodomized his hockey coach with a hockey stick.
A hockey player! He did for a while, but his coach accidentally had a stick jammed up his ass.
Hey man, you ever played sports as a kid?
Some hockey. I wasn't very good at teams, or coaches either.
Another time he strangled a clarinet player using the musician's own instrument.
Sounds like someone strangling a clarinet player, and I talk from experience.
He even admitted to killing animals and drifters in his youth. Violence became his only language of control in a world that constantly humiliated him.
You ain't never clapped nobody before?
Not really. Some deer, foxes, drifters, nothing serious.
Even as a young man, Trevor dreamed of becoming a drug dealer, a strange goal that made sense only to him. He saw it not as criminal, but as freedom.
I mean, since I was a little kid, I dreamt big. You know, I've always wanted to be an international drug dealer and a weapons trader.
His schooling fell apart early. He dropped out young.
I should have been an artist. I nearly was. If I'd stayed at school, I would have been.
Leaving him with rough grammar and wild gaps in knowledge.
You know, we ain't come that far from when the Romans were in control of this country. Gladiators and such.
The Romans, bro? I don't think so.
You don't think those methods of control are any different from the ones that the Roman emperors were using to control the citizens?
That's all good. It's just you said Romans controlled this country. But that was in Italy.
What? You know, sure, yeah. How's your spelling and grammar and all that crap? I could do it if I wanted to, but I don't want to follow stupid rules. I improvise, inventing punctuation as I go.
Yet for all his ignorance, Trevor was actually brilliant.
A little over 2 tons a pallet.
Yeah? So what's that worth?
Gold's trading at around 1,700 to 2,000 an ounce. 35 ounces a kilo, give or take. 1,000 kilos a ton, so that's...
$200 million or thereabouts.
Give me a sec. Yep, that sounds about right.
He also claimed to have been the Canadian under-8 golf champion and nearly went pro, a glimpse at the wasted potential buried under his anger.
I was the Canadian under-18 champion. I nearly went pro.
As he grew older, Trevor discovered his one true talent, flying. The air gave him freedom from everything that had chained him to the ground. He joined the Air Force, training to become a fighter pilot.
He could fly planes, this kid. So he signed up to the Air Force to fly all day long and bomb villages and maybe, just maybe, drop the nuke.
But just as he was about to earn his license, a psychological evaluation ended everything. He was deemed mentally unstable, unfit to fly, and discharged.
And it was all going well until one day, just before he got his wings, an evil witch in charge of psychological evaluations told him he was unstable, grounded him for life, sent him into a deep pit of doubt and despair.
The reason it's implied was his unstable relationship with his mother. Once again, she had taken something from him. After the military, Trevor drifted aimlessly through life, surviving off small crimes like robbing gas stations and killing hitchhikers, probably implying that he became a serial killer too, on top of everything.
I was a drifter, up by the border, wandering from truck stop to truck stop, recently out of the military, huffing gas, and fucking people over, killing, eating, whatever. Sure, it was fun, but it was going nowhere.
And it was also implied that he ate people. Though it's not confirmed, it was mentioned a lot in the game by different characters.
I like sausages, but I don't want to work in a sausage factory. Unless I could make human sausages and I also got to eat all of them. kill strangers, protect friends, eat enemies. Get over here. I don't bite.
That ain't what I heard. All cannibalistic and shit.
Frank, what you been telling him?
I say what I see, homie. You dig on man meat.
During these days, he huffed gas and had near-death experience where he put an axe into a power cable and passed out for 5 minutes.
Well, I am not dead. I wasn't dead. I never have been. Except for maybe 5 minutes when I put an axe into a power cable.
Then, sometimes in the late 1980s, around the age of 20, he started a small air-fried business in North Yankton. One day, while waiting on a runway for his employer, he saw 2 cars approaching instead of one. Out stepped Michael Townley, the man who would change his life forever. Michael had carjacked the second driver, an older man that started shouting. Trevor didn't hesitate. He shot a flare gun straight into the man's eye, killing him instantly. They dumped the body into a lake, but the flare kept burning inside the man's skull. The stench made them both vomit, but in that moment, an unlikely friendship was born.
I was running a small air freight outfit in North Yankton. Tiny operation. There's one Beagle I could borrow when I needed it. We were kids.
Kids with planes.
So, this guy I know says there's this other guy needs some hot cargo moved across the border. Money's good, and I don't know enough to check references, so I'm in. A few days later, I'm waiting on the runway, and I see this dust coming up off the road. Only it ain't one dust trail, it's 2. I got told one guy in cargo. First car comes through the gate, stops, someone comes out. My age, just 20, kind of fat but strong underneath.
Love at first sight.
Yeah, something like that. Other car comes through the gate. Old guy falls out, starts yelling, waving his arms and pointing at the kid.
The dude that got jacked?
Who fucking knows? Fat guy's running, old guy's shouting. I don't really care. I play peacemaker, concerned citizen. I get close to the old guy and I pull out this flare gun I'm carrying around, squeeze the thing off in his eye.
Shit.
It was horrible. We had to pick up the body and dump it in a lake on the way. Thing was still burning in his head when we dropped him. Plane never smelt the same. Both of us threw up when we landed. It was quite a baptism.
Michael saw something in Trevor, raw potential wrapped in chaos. He persuaded him to start trapping people by his side, and together they found the rhythm in crime.
Michael didn't have the nerve back then. I didn't have the direction. Kind of worked. Sometimes he'd go into town and rob the shops and inns and such. And he persuaded our hero that maybe he should rob people too. And you know what? Little Trisha did rob people, and little Trisha was good at it.
Even though Trevor had a knack for it, his first job in a check cashing store didn't go as planned. The clerk recognized him, and a dumb mistake landed him in prison for 4 months.
The checks cash place? I went in, took him for $8 grand, walked out.
Yeah, it was a bit more complicated than that though, wasn't it, T?
Maybe I knew the guy. Maybe he ID'd me.
Maybe you did 6 months.
Maybe I was out in 4, and that, children, is why we don't leave witnesses.
That, children, is why you don't rob people that you know!
When he got out, he and Michael hit the road, robbing, stealing, and surviving across the Midwest.
Then I met your dad. We started doing scores, and boom! Before you know it, I've made it. I'm a wanted man. I got money, beautiful house in the desert, and now look at me.
Though Michael's recognizable quoting of lines from Solomon Richards' movies and Trevor's habit to stab and murder people in broad daylight often kept them on the run.
Trevor was always a lot of a psycho.
We'd do a job, and he'd want to leave town right away. We could never make friends or contacts anywhere.
He'd kill someone in broad daylight, and we'd have to jump town.
Alive and well, taking the same scores, quoting the same dumb movies.
Throughout their crime spree, they worked with several other accomplices, the closest one being Lester Crest, a talented hacker and a heist planner.
A long time ago in a faraway place, there were 3 guys. Michael, Trevor, and Lester.
But over time, Michael began changing. He fell in love with a stripper named Amanda, married her, and had 2 kids, Tracy and Jimmy.
And they lived happily ever after? For a while. Until the troll met another troll in a strip club, and they fell in lust, and he bought her a pair of fake troll tits, even bigger than his real troll tits, so she could make more money stripping. maybe a little on the side without call work, but you didn't hear that from me. Wow. And then she pushed out a pair of little trolls, and the big bad troll under the bridge went soft.
Trevor, despite his madness, cared for them like family. He saw himself as an uncle to the kids.
You were always such a cool uncle.
Dad and Trevor?
Two dads. Great.
Wow.
Very San Andreas.
What are you guys doing here?
Yeah.
Even vowing to kill anyone who hurt Tracy.
Oh, yeah? Well, that little girl sat on my lap when she was 2 years old, and I swore to God that I would rip the fucking skin off anyone who fucking wronged her.
But as Michael focused on his family, Trevor saw weakness. To him, Michael was going soft. To fill the void, Trevor brought in a new partner, Brad Snyder. Michael and Lester didn't trust him.
Brad's not a thing! He's part of the crew.
Well, a crew's more than a sum of its parts, and he was a pretty shit part.
He is a pretty shit part, and that's only because he's in jail.
No, he is shit because he's lazy, forgetful, mean, and stupid, with respect.
But Trevor's loyalty to Michael kept him from replacing him. Brad even suggesting cutting Michael out, but Trevor refused. For all his insanity, loyalty meant everything to him.
So little Trevor made a new friend called Brad, and he was thinking about cutting Mike off when it all went to shit.
In 2004, during a cash depot heist in North Yankton, Trevor, Michael, Brad and their getaway driver made their move. But Michael had secretly made a deal with a corrupt FIB agent Dave Norton to fake his death and start a new life in Los Santos. The plan was simple. Dave would shoot Trevor dead, wound Michael non-fatally, and let him die on paper, for Michael to escape the life of crime with his family alive. The heist began smoothly until 2 guards were killed, but soon after the police closed in. The driver was killed, forcing Michael behind the wheel. A train collided with their car, derailing their escape. They fled on foot toward the supposed helicopter, only to be ambushed. Dave fired, hitting Brad instead of Trevor, and then shot Michael to stage his death. Trevor fought back, unwilling to leave his friends, but Michael ordered him to run. Trevor escaped, heartbroken and furious, believing Michael dead and Brad in prison. He then drifted from town to town, robbing liquor stores and leaving a trail of missing hitchhikers behind.
Yeah, where'd he go?
North, south, east, west, wherever there were liquor stores to turn over and hitchhikers to disappear.
After drifting for years, Trevor eventually settled in the barren town of Sandy Shores, San Andreas, a place as chaotic and broken as he was. There he crossed paths with Ron Jakowski, a former accountant who'd lost everything after Trevor convinced him that his wife was holding him back. Trevor's threats drove Ron's wife away, and the divorce led him deep in debt. Isolated and paranoid, Ron moved into a trailer next door and quickly became Trevor's closest friend and follower.
Your ex-wife was a bitch! I did you the favor of a lifetime when I scared her off.
You did! You really did!
If after 12 years of happy marriage, one simple threat of dismemberment was enough to send her running, well, I don't know. And she was having an affair. We proved that.
You're right, Trevor. She wasn't committed enough.
I'm sorry to ask this, but does your contact pay well for this kind of shipment? Because I've got those lawyer fees for the divorce and my settlement costs.
When he first met Jeff, he wanted proof that the man could handle himself, so he gave him a test. A quick job involving a cash for gold dealer who looked like easy money. By the end of the day, the dealer and his bodyguard were buried in the junkyard. Trevor walked away 50 grand richer, and with a new partner who'd just proven he could kill as well as cook.
Jeff, will you tell these gentlemen about your first job?
Well, it was part of the interview process, I guess is how you'd call it. Trevor knew I could cook, wanted to see if I could handle myself. This cash for gold guy comes through town, stood to reason he had funds. Next thing, we're burying him and his bodyguard in the junkyard. Well, most of them anyhow.
$50K. He did fine.
Alongside Ron and Jeff, Trevor built Trevor Philips Enterprises, a meth and arms operation that ruled over Blaine County's criminal underworld. And he hasn't forgotten about Brad, believing him to be alive and imprisoned, Trevor wrote letters to him for years. Those letters were intercepted by the FIB, who forged replies under Dave Norton's supervision to keep Trevor believing the lie.
A few years ago, a letter came to the federal prison system addressed to Brad. Wasn't signed, but it gave a P.O. box in Sandy Shores. I played the part of Brad, and we started a correspondence.
And at some point, Trevor's mom got arrested.
Is that how you greet your mother, Trevor?
I didn't know they let you out.
So you never wrote to me? You never visited?
Sometime later, a group of travelers, including Wade Hebert and his friends, passed through Sandy Shores on their way to drug-fueled gathering. They met Trevor, who led them to a quarry. Wade was the only one who returned. The rest were never seen again, implying that they were killed by Trevor. Wade, naive and loyal, stayed with Trevor, joining his crew, though not without suffering his own abuse.
Hey, you remember when we met?
Sure! Last year. I was on the way to the gathering with Daisy Bell and Kush Chronic
And you stopped in Sandy Shores to get lit, and you met a dealer, and he looked after you, when your friends had abandoned you.
That was weird, weren't it? The last time I saw him, it was with you, driving out to the quarry, and then they just disappeared.
Poof, right? I mean, they were gone. Some friends, right?
In a disturbing echo of Trevor's past, he once rammed a hockey stick up Wade's rectum, the same weapon he once used on his childhood coach.
Yeah. Where were we?
You were saying what he could do. He couldn't throw, and his coach had a stick accident like I had one.
By 2013, Trevor crossed paths with the GTA Online protagonist after they stole one of his meth lab's RVs. Instead of revenge, Trevor turned it into business, hiring the protagonist for jobs, raiding rival gangs, stealing shipments, and downing planes for Trevor Philips Industries.
You come here after all the trouble you've caused. I want you to get out there right now and start taking care of all those businesses you fucked over, especially mine. Now get going, get to work!
Soon after, Trevor launched a massive drug heist, teaming up with the protagonist's crew to steal shipments from the Vagos, the Lost MC, and the Polos. They fought off waves of enemies and regrouped at the El Gordo lighthouse to finalize the deal. Trevor paid the crew in advance, a rare act of trust. But when the buyer arrived, Trevor sensed something was wrong. The man was an undercover agent working for the Drug Observation Agency. Without hesitation, Trevor bolted, diving off a cliff into the ocean to escape.
Are you selling me cocaine, Mr. Phillips?
Fucking narc!
You are under arrest for trespassing.
Get away! Fuck's sakes! Asshole!
As Trevor's business grew, he set his sights on controlling all guns and drugs in Blaine County. The Zeekas, the O'Neills, and the Lost MC were in competition, and he planned to wipe them out until Trevor Philips Industries was the only supplier left.
The guns and crank in this area go through Trevor Philips Enterprise, or they ain't going!
Among the lost was Johnny Klebitz, their leader, a man Trevor humiliated repeatedly by sleeping with his girlfriend, Ashley Butler, often in exchange for meth.
Trevor! You been with my girl again?
When Johnny finally confronted him in rage, Trevor didn't hesitate. Killing Johnny was the first step in his plan to eliminate every rival in the area.
You are out of business. The Lost MC are out of business.
And moments before all of that, while watching TV, Trevor saw something unexpected. Michael Townley was still alive. That discovery would lead him to Los Santos, where he'd track down his old partner. And through Michael, he'd meet Franklin Clinton, and the story would begin. Thank you for watching so far. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. A huge shout out to the member of the channel, Spidey, as this kind of support really helps the channel. Leave me a comment telling me what do you think about the story and who do you like me to work on the next video. Have a good one and peace.